Season 4 Reloaded patch notes are here, and obviously we got teased some stuff in the blog, but I'm really interested if anything actually changed, because that's kind of where the patch notes do, is they actually show changes in the game, versus the blog, it was mostly about cosmetics and spending money, right? So stability. This update contains several fixes for known crashes. We continue to prioritize increased stability and crash fixes across all platforms. One thing that they don't really address is an FPS issues, particularly for PC, where with each update, it seems like the frame rate has tended to go lower. And then we got classified sector is now available, which is going to be for these 5 items, basically cosmetics, and then the weapon will be that 5th item. If you have your tokens saved, you can go ahead and just activate it right away. And then, like I said, we already knew we were going to get these operators, so it is what it is, along with the Izzy. And then the event, you're going to go ahead and get this camo. And then when you complete them all, you get this diabolical one. It doesn't really look animated. It does look pretty clean, but I don't know if that's like super hype, right? So you're going to have to go through and do each of these individually. This is one of the few items that is grindable, unlockable, and free for everyone. So I'm definitely a fan of that, even if it doesn't look as cool as maybe some other camos that they could have done. Overall, it's a W to have extra content to do in the game where you got to grind stuff out, and this is something they've continued to do and carried over. So new weapon, this is a fully automatic 12 gauge shotgun. Might be annoying, we'll see how it goes. Hopefully it's not too strong, at least in Warzone or in Battle Royale, Resurgence, and DMZ, because then it tends to take over and they're a little bit slow on nerfing stuff. So obviously shotguns got to be good, but maybe its place is multiplayer. I don't know. Base weapon stat bars have been updated more accurately reflect their functionality. See, they're all an illusion. Attachment stats values have been updated to more accurately reflect their functionality. And I think this one could be interesting because recoil smoothness, it doesn't really do much. But what does it actually do, right? So maybe that has more functionality there. This is something we brought up when the game first came out. We're like, well, you need more descriptors because there's like 17 descriptors for recoil, horizontal, vertical, stability, smoothness, like on and on and on and on. And hopefully that is there now. So new attachments, there's an underbarrel called the Corvus Torch. This is a Dragon's Breath pack underbarrel shotgun. I don't feel like anyone was asking for that, but here we go. Weapon balancing, one of the key areas. Let's see their philosophy here. So at the launch of Season 4, weapons in Warzone saw a significant change to the damage profiles, which resulted in an overall increase into the duration of engagements, longer TTKs. With Season 4 Reloaded, we are placing a bigger emphasis on accuracy in gunfights. Are they going to bring headshots back when close range? So to achieve this, every weapon has had its Warzone damage profile adjusted to fit into the new balance paradigm, with additional attention given to most dominant weapons. While the change will result in a wider range of time to kill values, meaning some weapons will be able to kill faster when fired more accurately and slower when not, it allows weapons the necessary space to feel more distinct and promotes an ecosystem where each weapon class can excel. ISO, reduced close range damage. So they actually nerfed it. It reduced headshot damage. That's for multiplayer only. And then increased hip spread. And the Vaznaev got a reduced close mid damage distance. So that one got nerfed. So they actually pushed the TTK higher. Basically how it sat, the ISO sat around 600 milliseconds. Everything else was like close to 680, 700 for pretty much all of them. So we'll see if this pushes the ISO towards that 700 range, and then that'll be a pretty slow TTK across the board. And I think maybe the Lockman kind of starts to lead a little bit here because the damage per mag is pretty high, so that could be a little bit more versatile, even though the Lockman's been pretty good, especially if you didn't have the ISO just yet from the free part of the battle pass. You know, you're still gonna have that option. Assault rifles, so the Cast-Off 7.62 reduce headshot damage for multiplayer only, and then increased time to ADS. So they actually just nerfed it slightly. And then we got the Cast-Off 7.4U, reduced headshot damage, and then increased hip spread. All right, they nerfed that one slightly. And then TAC 56, reduce headshot damage, multiplayer. Those are only multiplayer changes. That's kind of crazy. Good that they did that. Like, I know they were waiting probably for champs to be over for multiplayer, so it doesn't impact that. which is good now that they can go in and adjust those guns, have been broken. The TAC-56 pretty much dominating multiplayer for a while, among a few others, but that's kind of one there. KV broadside, increased mid-range damage. Okay, multiplayer. I was about to say, I was like, please no. What an increase in shotgun? Those two words should not be together. Bryson 800, reduced damage to head, upper torso. Okay, so that's a nerf. Oh, those are all multiplayer. Bryson multiplayer, increase ADS movement speed, so they actually buffed it slightly on the movement. Not a huge deal. Expedite 12, increased damage to those areas for multiplayer. So a lot of multiplayer changes, which I'm heavily surprised at, because normally that's not the case, right? Normally it's Warzone only, you know? So Tempest Torrent, reduced close to mid-range damage, Modern Warfare 2 only. Reduced neck location damage. Okay, like what are we doing here? Why are all these reduced ADS speed for the EBR? Okay, ADS movement speed, and then so they nerfed the EBR a little bit, which is kills pretty quick. If they ever turn the EBR into it can use assault rifle ammo instead of sniper ammo, this thing would be nuts. It's nuts right now if you can plan ahead, have enough munitions, get your ammo sorted. But in general, like with that issue holding it back, that's kind of the biggest issue. Lockwood MK2, reduced time to ADS, movement increase. Okay, so nothing special there. And then the SAB, movement increase. That didn't really change anything, in my opinion, almost. I mean, ISO, cool, but overall, that really doesn't do much. I know it changes one, so they decided to work on the one instead of solving the other one. So we're gonna have probably the slowest close range TTK we've ever had in Warzone. This is slower than any time in Verdansk and slower than any time in Caldera. So we've actually pushed the pendulum that far. So it's a little bit different, at least based off of that alone. So we'll see where that goes and how that feels in game. Spec Ops. So we got the Autumn Grad raid, the final one. Probably finish this today or tomorrow, depending on how long it takes to level this shotgun and then test some stuff out. And then we got the events. So the boys Temp V field upgrade. So we got the charge jump, the electric shockwave, laser vision, and teleport. See how they play in game. They're in every mode except ranked. So they might tune that, but unless it's not an issue. Playlist. All right, so this is the interesting part because they've been really messing things up. So ranked, we got trios, cool. Vondel, we got solos, duos, and quads. And then map rotations occur every 15 minutes and include both Vondel and Ashika Island. That's the battle royale. You get solos, duos, and quads for Vondel. And then we got Resurgence. We got Vondel, solos, and quads. And then Ashika Island will be duos and trios. Oh, this is different than I expected. Okay, so Vondel is locked in at solos and quads. Ashika Island locked in at duos only. And then if you play trios in Resurgence, it rotates on the map. That's not a horrible, like at least one rotates, so then you get all the modes in there. Maybe trios is the most populated. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly the logic there. Plunder makes its return. I know a lot of people have been asking in the comment section, Plunder win, Plunder win, Plunder win. It's back, I guess. And then lockdown's next week, and then the following week is lockdown. So get your Plunder up before it's gone, because it will be gone. And then you can see the map rotation here is for duos and trios, and then solos, duos, trio. So I guess they're just expanding it, and they'll always have a dedicated Vondel option from solos, quads, and then they have quads and quads. But there's no solos in the Resurgence on this time. But I guess you can do that, you know, I don't know. As long as Al Mazrah has their solos, I think they're... This week, Al Mazrah doesn't have solos again? What is there's no Al Mazrah? Al Mazrah isn't even a playable Battle Royale map. What? They're crazy for that. Oh, people are going to be pissed. Oh, let me know in the comments what's your thoughts on that. It shows no, oh my God, you got to go play ranked. That's craziness. Good luck with that. New Gulag, all right, for Vondel. New stuff like that. General, so a 15-minute in-game timer has been added to playlist menu that indicates the rotation, fire range, quality of life. Players can now have the option to apply number of plates to the dummy via the setting That's cool. Gameplay. This is the little personal drone. We got plate carrier. Armor plate carriers will no drop when the enemy is eliminated. That's a W. For the longest, like, you would kill and you lose the chance to get tempered. Added 3 new types of armor. And these aren't new. They're just new for the other experiences. These have been in DMZ. So DMZ was like the test ground. We got the medic, which is a common armor plate carrier that increases the speed at which players are able to revive down squad members, which is cool. Increase the speed at which the health begins to regenerate. That is a W, especially with the health change. So you're not going to have to be crutched to quick fix if you find the medic one. We'll have to see the timing on that one. Comms, an uncommon armor plate, so a little bit rarer. Carrier increase the effectiveness of UAVs by showing the enemy's direction. Oh shoot, this is like bird's eye from the beginning. It gives you that like effect that you get when the advanced UAV, where it'll show the directional, and then if they don't have the directional, I'm guessing they have ghost, but we'll see how that is. And then there's a stealth one, which is a rare armor plate carrier that protects the player from UAVs and other target devices. And that's kind of like a free perk because you get like ghost, which is kind of nice, right? So that's all in all modes, it sounds like. And then Al Mazrah Battle Royale. So there's a cast drop. This won't be until the following week because it doesn't look like it's this week. This new event will spawn 3 planes that will cast drop, a total of 12 crates across the match. Each crate will spawn 10,000 in cash and between 2 to 4 randomized armor plate carriers. This event has a chance to occur during the 3rd and 5th circles. That'll be pretty cool. And then that's like good regain opportunity, probably hot. You can kind of camp it. I don't know. And get some free kills that way, get contested, fight it. Personal redeploy drone. It is literally personal based off this. You call it and you take off like Mary Poppins or something. Cool occupation scan. That's the one where you got to go prone or it'll mark you on the map. And then everyone that doesn't go prone will be visible like in advance, so you can actually see where they're at. All maps, resurgence, so communal stations, public event. Once resurgence is disabled, a series of deployable buy stations will drop onto the field at random for any player to use. That is kind of a cool thing. It increases the volume of the buy stations, which for the zone, maybe where the zone's closing on, RNG has made it so there's not enough buy stations. This will solve that issue. Maybe to get a UAV, buy your teammates back, give you more opportunity. I think that's cool. I mean, this is something that like, there's a few things in here that weren't in Warzone 1, and this is kind of what we were looking for. I think when we saw Warzone 2, now it's just Warzone, was coming out, we figured we'd get a lot of what we already had, plus some. See, now we're barely getting to the point where we got almost everything we had. Now we're getting plus some, right? Which is a W. Unfortunate part is the movement. It still feels a little bit too clunky for a lot of people, including myself, with weapon swapping, raise and lower times. So it's getting there. So unless we get some tuning to that, I don't think most people will care that there's cool events in there because the overall game experience hasn't drastically shifted besides the TTK, which does feel pretty good, at least to me, in my opinion, for long range, and mid range we'll have yet to see today. Redeployment elevation. Okay, the elevation at which a player deploys in the field will now reduce by 9% of the initial elevation each circle. Oh, that's kind of crazy. So to get lower and lower, so people don't just float. I think this is an issue, especially late game. If you just come back, you could float for a very long time. This reduction stops at circle 8 and remains constant for the remainder of the match. The total difference in height from start until the end of the match, approximately 60%. That's huge. And that's the final placement. They just camp it out and they just say, oh, I'll die. Gas mask quality of life. Gas mask animation that automatically starts while players are airborne will be interrupted if the player decides to pull their parachute, which is something that we already kind of had and they got rid of it and then they brought it back. I don't know. The gas mask, just make it so that it just boom, boom. I don't have to know the magic of how it gets there. I just need it on my face, off my face without any interruption. And then there's some people are like, but you know, more tactical. This Call of Duty is an arcade shooter, not a tactical shooter. So just put it on my face, take it off my face. I don't need to see how it gets there, right? Bird's eye perk. When using a UAV in combination with bird's eye, players under the effective ghost are now revealed to that player. Bird's eye buff, hell yes, that is a W. So we get a hard counter to ghost. Offer more variety to rock, paper, scissors. W. That is a W. Bird's eye was kind of useless after they nerfed to the ground. This is a huge W. And that'll allow you to pretty much see everyone, and it makes like Bird's eye super powerful. At least for one person on your team should probably be running Bird's eye, so you don't get snuck up on by that random ghost player that is kind of camping it out. Sometimes justified, sometimes less so. Medicine cabinets reduce the number of stims that spawn in medicine cabinets to 1, down from 2. That one because people are stimming their way to lasting in the gas up to like 15-20 minutes. Vondel cash increase. The minimum amount of cash that players will find has been increased from up to 500 from 100. Okay. And it applies to all sorts of loot, including cash register supply box. So UIUX, we got armor plate count, quality of life. Players will now be able to view the total number of unequipped armor plates they are carrier on their squad widget. Okay, cool. W, brought that back. Players will now see a backpack full notification. That's important, except it automatically picking up ammo, fills up your slot, and you're like, I want more plates. I want to have 12 plates or whatever. You have to drop the ammo, and then you walk back over the ammo after you dropped it. It's kind of annoying. Quality of life for backpack value. The amount of cash that an eliminated player will respawn with upon redeployment will now be indicated on the right side of the squad widget. So this is good if you have to choose, okay, who had the cash? Now you'll know. Champions Quest quality of life rewards now show in the after action report upon successful detonation of the nuke. Cool. Kill cam recap. Eliminated players will now see some of the players that contributed to their death. This will include the number of shots. What? This is like IW had this in Infinite Warfare, where it actually showed how many times you got shot by how many players. If 3 different people got a hit marker on you, it would show one. That is a huge one. That's cool. This will include the number of shots that made contact per player. And then resurgence improvements, quality of life. They're giving some W's in here. General improvements in resurgence mode interface, especially when spectating. The squad widget also has improved to better indicate the squad member's redeployment is imminent. And then ask to be cautious ping. So I guess you can do a specific ping and say, hey, slow the hell down if you don't have a mic or whatever. And then bug fixes, a good amount of those. DMZ, there's DMZ, more stuff. Plea for help. I know this is probably the main important part. I'll probably skip the rest. When reviving someone who is pleading, the player who was pleading will no longer auto join the reviver's team. There will be a 30-second grace period the player's revived, where the reviver's team will not be able to damage the player who was pleading, but they're not forced to join, right? So you're just able to get up. Hey, I'll leave you alone. You leave me alone. Maybe that impacts 6-mans because that's a big problem with DMZ. And then after reviving, the reviver will be given a prompt to invite the revived player to their team. The plea for help and loot prompts are now separate. The plea for help revive prompt is on the player's body, and the loot prompt is on the backpack like normal. Looting the player first will not disable the plea option, and then created a direct assimilation function to only send a request to one person. The team who killed the player that is pleading will no longer be able to accept their plea request and then revive them. This prevents killing to force assimilation. Player hunting player. So if a player in their squad killed too many players in DMZ, the high kill individual player will be issued a warning. If they kill another player, they can expect a bounty on their head. Enemy operators in the exclusion zone will then receive intel on your position and secure a reward. Wow. Killing a player with a bounty everyone in the head of squad is 10,000. The bounty is not active in building 21 or Koshai complex. That's kind of crazy. But like, what is that? Too many players, right? I don't know. I guess a lot of people are complaining that it's a PvEVP mode, but I don't know. Not enough weapon changes that I expected, but I mean, there was a lot of other good stuff in there that they didn't just copy from Warzone 1. They actually reintroduced new concepts. So we'll see how it plays. Appreciate all the support on the content. Thank you for watching as always. Have a great day.